You're listening to the new 91.5 WGLZ, West Liberty, West Virginia.
And we're back. You guys have just tuned in to The Idea, a ninja whatcha philosophical radio talk show hosted by the infamous Tyler Rogers and
Brandon Anderson.
And we were just getting back to Brandon Anderson spilling his guts to the world, ladies and gentlemen. So hopefully it's interesting. I know it's driving us. Oh my gosh.
I got this.
All right, cool. All right, there was a technical difficulty. But
we had a technical difficulty, but we're good, guys.
Yeah.
So back to what I was saying is, you know, as Tyler puts it, I was spilling my guts. But in a way, you know, I was just kind of trying to keep it real with everyone and tell me how I feel about religion and everything. I was basically saying, you know, a lot of people that I know, more of into like family, but just people in general, it's kind of hard for them to have real kind of talks, sincere, real kind of talks that, you know, I would enjoy having with them, to get to know who they are as a person.
Yeah.
It's really hard to find this kind of people to talk to nowadays. And, you know, it's hard. It's hard, but, you know, it's something that I think you also, or at least for me, that I'm kind of like having to get used to. You know, I'm not going to be able to just meet everyone, you know, the first time and get right to it like I want to, you know. Sometimes it takes a little time for people to break, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get to know a person sometimes.
I guess, like, don't just jump right into it, but
right.
Ease into it.
You got to, it's like a relationship. You know, you don't want to just like, hey, I met you, I'm really attracted to you, let's date, you know. You got to ease yourself into that, you know, got to kind of get to know that person for who they are and then, you know, move on from that. You know, but back, you know, on religion, I like I said, I feel that, you know, I have a good stance of what I believe in right now, you know, and right now I'm just gonna keep moving on day by day. You know, I'm not saying that the Christian religion is right. I'm not saying that any religion is right. You know, but I'm just gonna go on what I guess you could say a little bit of what I was told, you know, and what I believe in. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm gonna go, you know, and basically I'm just going on how I feel. You know, this is how I feel. Yeah. And people that, you know, which I'm sure I'm going to get some questions from my family. But, you know, when they question me about these kind of things, you know, I heard you talking on the radio about this, blah, blah, blah. How could you say this? You know, I'm going to keep it real and be like, hey, you know, that's how I felt. You know, this is how I feel. And I feel like a lot of people have to do the research and think about, you know, don't just because you were brought up a certain way doesn't mean you have to keep believing in that way. You know, doesn't mean you have to live by that way. You live how you want to live, you know, and that's even if you and I don't want to say this, but that's even if you don't want to believe in anything, which I could get into that, but I'm not right now. But you know, but you have to look inside yourself and figure out, you know, does this sound right to me? You know, do I believe in this? You know, is this value and this value? Because I do believe that religion, you know, brings good morality. You know, believing in God, you know, Christians, I like the morality part of it. You know, I really do think that it's great that people believe
like a common sense of belonging.
Yeah, a common sense of belonging. You know, that people believe in good things. You know, you know, just like, you know, simple 10 Commandments. You know, don't lie. You know, right now I'm believing in. This is how I believe, all right? I don't do things that, like, I don't want done to me. So, you know, like, kind of, you know, in the 10 Commandments way, you know, don't lie. You know, I don't want people lying to me, so I don't want to lie to people. Yeah. You know, don't kill. You know, I don't want people killing me. You know, don't cheat, don't commit adultery, all this, you know, all these things. You know, so in a way, you know, it's a good kind of, you know, reference to go by, you know, and that's how I feel. Like, I don't want those things happening to me, so I'm not going to do them to other people, you know. I want to be accepted by people, so I'm not just going to be, like, downing other people, like, hey, you know, you're worthless crap and all that crap. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to do that to other people. Yeah. You know? So, because, you know, I would feel horrible if it was done to me. I'd feel horrible. So I'm living my life the way that I feel like I want to be treated. You know, and that's my standpoint on, like, this whole religion thing is, you know, like I said, I do believe in religion. I think there's a lot of good, you know, and there's a lot of bad. There's been a lot of wars actually, you know, that's got started because of religion. Yes. You know, so not everything is exactly like, you know, just all great about, you know, religion. It's not like, oh, you know, happy dappy.
It unites people that are in the religion, but divides people who aren't in the religion and believe a different faith.
It will tear you apart.
Yeah.
It
tears humanity apart.
Yeah.
and only unites like a small portion.
Right.
Sometimes.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It can tear people. It can tear nations. It can do a lot.
Yeah.
It has a lot of power. Religion is definitely a big thing, like politics in this world.
Yeah.
One of the things that does have a lot of say, a lot of power, a lot of things can be done. When it comes to those subjects, so it is very powerful. But like I said, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. But for me, I'm going to wrap this up. But basically, what I'm saying is, for me, I believe, I do believe in something higher and everything. But I do feel that I do feel in a way a lot of people need to look inside themselves.
Yeah.
And
be honest with yourself.
Be honest with yourself. That's my judgment on it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Yeah.
I can't go to church and be honest with myself by doing communion or going up to the altar and giving my all to God. That's not being honest with myself.
Uh-huh.
God will know if you do believe in a higher a power, a higher being. God knows when you're being honest and when you're not being honest with yourself. He knows when you're being fake or going up in the church.
I think
he
God,
knows that.
I honestly think, Brandon, that if God does exist, that God would want you to go through this. You know what I mean? Like, God would want you to be completely who you are and honest in your absolute being,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel that he would too. I don't see why he wouldn't. I don't see why he'd be like, you need to just go to church, blah 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 blah. Can get in my house and learn. I think that he gives us all trials and stuff for us to figure out, because the ultimate thing is, if he wanted us to be sheeple and follow him and believe in him and that's it.
Yeah.
He would not give us the power to think like this.
To question it.
He would not give us the power to question.
Yeah.
I think
we're supposed to question it.
Yeah, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hater comments right now just for saying that, because I know a lot of people are going to come at me and be like, it's called Adam and Eve, and if Eve wouldn't have ate the apple, blah, 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 because God, of course, didn't give us that. Well, you know what? It happened. It happened.
Yeah.
Eve ate that apple.
Yeah.
We got sent to Earth or whatever. We have to deal with these now. So even if you do believe in that, what happened happened.
Yeah.
So even if it wasn't at the very beginning, if you believe that God created humans or whatever, and he created Adam and Eve, and he didn't give them the knowledge to question things, it happened. So now we have the knowledge. Now we can critically think ourselves and question these kind of things. So now that we have the power to do that, I think that a lot more people need to really think about things for themselves.
Yes. Yes.
And basically that's all I'm really trying to get at. My whole concept on religion. I don't want to down anybody's religion. I'm not going to say one is right and one is wrong. I'm not going to say that. But at the same time, I feel when it boils down to it, people in general just need to really think about what they believe in, and they need to go beyond what they were raised.
Yes.
They need to go beyond that and figure things out for themselves. Just take a stop and think.
Yeah.
Stop and think about it.
Exactly.
By yourself, no distractions, like you said, and just really be like, okay.
People need to isolate themselves more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just take some time for yourself and really figure yourself out.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's so many distractions in the world right now, and so many new technologies, and so many things to do. Football games, basketball games, all these sports, all these different things to do. But let's just get real with who we are. You know what I mean? That's what humanity really needs to do. And if we could do that, we could really start making progress as a people. You know what I mean? And I really feel like that's what the idea. Our talk show is really about, is just all of us just kind of coming together and speaking our souls, so that was awesome, man.
Thanks.
That was good. I could tell you got a lot of passion. My armpits are sweating over here. I'm sweating in my seat.
I'm turning up the heat here.
It's like, follow that, Tyler.
But that's really all I really had to say in my discussion about this. I don't, like I said, I know whenever I get off this show, I'm sure a lot of my family or people that are listening are going to be like, Brandon, I can't believe you said that on the radio, like on air.
Yeah.
But you know what, guys? I'm keeping it real, and if you can't accept me for who I am, then I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing I feel like in. The whole reason that we're doing the idea is getting real with ourselves.
Yeah.
Everybody. Everybody get real.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Break it down, everyone. No
Everyone.
more mask.
Yeah.
Take it off. Here.
Absolutely.
Wow. That was quite a speech.
Thanks.
So yeah, we got to go to break. We're gonna go to the top of the hour. We're gonna come back in. I want to spill my guts next. Kind of break down my background story of how I was introduced to faith and the emotions that I've gone through and where I am now in my life and what I think about the world and religions and things like that. So. Once again, guys, we're getting a lot of good feedback. I've heard from several people, and I already got someone who wants to come in sometime, for an interview. So yeah, keep up the good stuff, and hopefully the more people we get in on this, the more people who participate and grab interest, the more likely we'll get that awesome delay.
Right.
And if we get that delay, it costs $3,000, guys. And we get that delay, you can just call in, put you on over the air. It'll be incredible, guys.
Yeah.
So, it's really helping us out the more people, call in and give us some good support. So thank you all so much just for,
Definitely.
getting that, just our real first shows right now. So thank you all so much for the support. And we will be back after this top of the hour. Once again, you're listening to 91.5 WGLZ.
You're listening to the new 91.5 WGLZ, West Liberty, West Virginia.